matter what happens, I will stay. But you're waiting for a better day. Take my hand and let's go away. Let's go away. So far away. So far away. Let's go away. Let's go away. So far away.
All right, guys, we're gonna get started in around 5 minutes to get everybody the link so that way they can log in and be able to be a part of this whole thing. So in 5 minutes. All right, bet. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I'm gonna make this short and sweet. A lot of people think we're gonna be on here for like a long time, but I would rather just get straight to the point and give you guys pretty much the routine. And I'm not saying that my trading style is the best trading style. I'm just letting you know what's worked. I'm letting you guys know how I was able to make sure that every trade that I went into was profitable, and how I also would not lose any money because I was making sure I did the proper, stops, the stop profits, all that type of stuff. But before we even get started, I'm just gonna look at the chat. I'm gonna be going back and forth to the chat so I can see what type of questions there is. Can everybody hear me? And if you can hear me, just type in the chat. Yes, you hear me? All right, bet. All right, good. All right. So I'm just gonna go over what happens, the routine, the times of when I trade, all the type of stuff, so that way you guys can see like when these moves happen, what time when to trade, when to get in, when to get out, and then what to look for. All right. So if you can see from my chart here, this is a 1 hour chart. You see these little lines right here? These are session breakers. All I do is go from here. I go to time scale and I click session breaks. What that means is this is when the market opens and this is when the end of that market day is over, right? Market opens, that day is over, the new day starts. So I'm going to give an example of what I do. Start like right here. One. Can you hear me? Yo. All right, hold on. George is calling me. We're gonna make sure. You can't see the charts? All right, can you guys see the charts now?
Bro, we can see it now.
All right, bet.
Telling you that no one can see it. Bye bye.
All right, okay, bye. All right, so you guys can see it. All right. So I'm just gonna give you routine of pretty much literally what I do. I don't really look at the charts all day. That's what I used to do. It used to stress me out. I was just like, yo, when is the best times to when to trade? So I could have like a set schedule, so that way I could get a sleeping pattern, so I could get sleep throughout the day. I could still be healthy. I could still go to the gym. I could still focus on the business aspect and do all this different type of stuff. So I don't trade until it's in between 10 and 19 GMT, which is around like 2 to maybe even noon. But usually all my entries are around from between that time 2 and probably around 8 o'clock in the morning. That's it. So I'll mark up my charts maybe at 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'll look back around midnight, 1 o'clock to see what it's doing. And then I take my trades around those times. And an example that would be is this. All I do is when I trade off zones. You could use support resistance if you want to. I don't really draw those out anymore. You could just see it pretty much. And to confirm, I use what's it called? I use fibs. I use the Fibonacci, and then I use the ADX, which is right here in the bottom, which I learned from Q. All right. Fix this for you guys real quick. So what happens is this, right? So if the market is when the market opens, right? And the market ends. So if I want to give an example of what I do, let's do this. So like pretend like this is all you see right now. Like nothing happened even on the right yet. As the market opens, you see that this is, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, I will pretty much just look at the charts to see what's going on. I would draw zones for market reversed. So market reverse here. The way you draw a supply zone is, or a supply and demand zone is from the wick of the previous candle to the breakout candle, which means the candle that made it go in the direction that's going. I draw zones for market reversed. Now what happens is I'll see at this 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I see nothing's really happening. I look 10, all of a sudden I see it dropping. It's just common sense. If you see supply and demand zone down here, you now know that it's coming down here. For me, I feel that Forex is all about responding. You just respond to it. You can't really predict all the time. But if you have the fundamentals and the technicals and know exactly what to draw up, then you know when to take trades. And that's how simple it is, right? So the reason why I'm going to reiterate this again is very simple. Market opens. I'm not even looking at the charts when the market opens. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I don't really see anything happening. 10, 11, 12. This is probably around, this is midnight, right? It starts dropping. I see where it's dropping to. I draw a zone. Obviously, it comes down into the zone. This happens around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you see what I'm telling you guys, that the times that I trade is in between that time? I'll just do this for you guys. All these moves happen in between these times. 10, 11, 12, 13. Like literally, that's the times when I trade, from around 2 to 19 GMT. That makes sense? So like I said, market open. I waited to see in what direction I was going. I started dropping. I say, all right, well, it's dropping. Let me see if there's a demand zone there. So I drew this up. This came all the way down, tested it this whole time. If you want, you could put a support. Comes up, boom. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 trades, right? I'll take 2 trades at that point. Draw this again. So the reason why I drew a supply and demand zone, market reversed here, the wick of the previous candle to the body of the breakout candle, right? You could draw your little support line here. You saw the market was dropping. That's it. You see how simple that was? That's how simple it was. Market open. I saw it come down. I was like, all right, well, let me see where it's going. Is there a supply and demand zone in that area? Yes, there's a demand zone right here. I just drew it up. It comes down. It tests it multiple times. I wait for a confirmation by multiple retests. I take the trade. I'm fearless. Let's see how many pips I went. 132 pips. So what I'll do when I place the trades is, when I place a trade, I twin trade it. I put one order and another order. So if I'm doing a dollar lot, I put another dollar lot. I would allow one of those orders to go to 30 pips. I would take profit on that order, and then I'll change the other one stop loss to like a 2 or 3 pip stop profit. So if it does go up more in that direction, I make more pips. If it doesn't, I make 2, 3 pips. So that means you still make money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you another example. This is what I'm doing pretty much this whole time. Is I'm just gonna repeat this process over and over again to show you guys. All right. Not a good example. All right. Market opens, right? You see it open right here, and you're waiting to take a trade. What I would do is, for me, I'll maybe mark it up maybe around 11 or 12, right? To see what it's doing in that time. I'm making sure I'm on the charts like to trade, because sometimes trades might happen at 1 o'clock. I just prepare. Market opens. It's like midnight. I'm seeing what's going on. It's going up. So what I'll do is I'll look, hey, is there a zone in this area? You know, is there a zone in this area? Look to my left. The way I look to my left is market open, waiting, seeing it go up. I put my cursor here. You see on the cursor to the left, there's a line there. So what I'll do is I'll just draw a zone. What happens is the market comes up and the market reverses, right? Which means to respect that zone. It still came down. Let's see how many pips that still is. That's still 70 pips. So to show you guys what happened in that area, this happened at 2 o'clock, right? I'm gonna repeat this again. Market opens. I see it come up. I'll try to look to my left. I see if there's any zones to my left, because when you're moving this cursor, you can see there's a line, horizontal line that follows the cursor. Market comes up. Look to my left. There's a zone, wick of the previous candle to the body of the breakout candle. That's where market reversed, right? Yes, it respects this zone. Let's see what it does in the 15-minute. And remember, guys, this is the way I trade, so it's just like, it's totally up to you. I wait for a retest, hit, and I take the trade. It comes all the way down. I would have twin traded it, 30 pips. And I also do another order as well up there as well, and change that one for a stop loss of a 2 to 3 pip stop profit. All right. Let me see if there's any questions. Do you count your levels before entering a trade? How do you draw your zones from the lowest wick to the closest body? All right, I just said it. Look, if a market reversed here, the wick of the previous candle, the body of the breakout candle, which means to the body of the candle that it started moving in the opposite direction, right? Remember I told you that how I trade is very simple. Unless I'm looking for a really big setup. Like right now, I'm not even going too advanced, right? Do you guys want me to go over super advanced, or do you guys want me to go over how to catch at least 30 plus pips guaranteed every single night? You tell me. I want to be able to have you guys make money. Market open. I mean, when a market open, that means it's a new day, like a new day. No, not London market opening, just a new day. It's like a day. Like these are all broken up in days. Days. This is one day. This is another day. This is another day. This is another day. Another day. I could definitely go over a whole bunch of stuff and like show you guys like the real like big moves and all this type of stuff, because real big moves is simple. So I'll give you a little teaser of that, but then I'm still gonna go back into teaching you the basics. So check this out. You want to know the big trades and when the big trades happen? go on the daily chart. You see these wicks? There's a wick here. There's a wick here. There's these wicks that touch. What happens is market comes into the zones and it reverses. This is how dope this is. If you notice on the daily, these wicks, that means market came in and got the hell out. Market came in and touched it and then got out. Market came in, got out. Came in, got out. It never really stayed in there, right? So what I would do, I had those daily zones drawn up. Now you can know like when the real big moves happen, right? And you see it right here. Market came in, got out. Market came in, got out. To make it even better, if you see this daily zone and you want it to be even more tight, go on the hour, delete it. Look what's actually here. You see this? All right, this is how simple. There's a zone here. You draw a zone. You look where market reverse, 61.8. Reverse. Comes up. That's about 434 pips. Market comes back all the way down. Reverses. In that zone, 61.8. In that I saw that there's a zone right here. Market comes in here. If you did a Fibonacci just to see where I was at the 61.8. So that was a confirmation, right? As you can see, it comes into the zone. It hits, comes up. There's a second test. For double tops and double bottoms, for M's and W's, you guys have to understand that it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be like a perfect W where it's just like W, right? Sometimes it'll come in, it'll test, and it'll come up, and it'll test again, even a little bit higher, and then it'll just come up. Or it could even test here once. So you guys understand, test. It'll tap it once, it'll come up, and it'll drop lower, and then go up. The best way to help with that confirmation of that stuff is the ADX. The ADX is on the bottom, right here. You just look at the momentum of what's going on. You see that literally it's losing momentum because the red is coming down and the green is coming up. Use that for confirmation. Give another example of every single day so you guys could. I'm just going to keep repeating so you guys can see it because, you know, repetition is reputation. You guys will be able to see what happens. So, new day. Market starts moving. Nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. And all of a sudden, you see it coming up. You see it coming up. You see, hey, is there a zone there? Yes, there is. Because it's coming up, and you look to your left, and you see there's a whole zone right here. The way I drew the zone, previous candle, body of breakout, comes into that zone. Comes into that zone, and from what you can see here, here's a perfect M. That's why I told you that sometimes it'll be different. You can call it double top, double bottoms, M's, W's, it doesn't matter. If you say M or W, or if you say double top or double bottom, it doesn't insult anyone's intelligence. It's just the way that you say it. It's the way that you perceive it. I know some people will talk crap on some people for calling it M's and W's. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes it easier for you. So look, an M right here. It tests once, it tests twice. You take the entry on the second retest, that's an easy one. And you could have still collected, no matter what, 100 pips. You could have collected 30 pips off one order, then change the second order, the stop loss with a 5 pip stop profit. And then take the other 100 pips. That's how simple. But here's the cool thing about it. Remember I said that you could take trades in between 10 and 19 GMT, correct? So if you saw it come into the zone, you look to your left, you saw that there's a zone there, you wait for a retest, you took the trade, then you saw it drop and come all the way down. See that how our price struggled here? All you had to do was look to the left and see if there's another zone. If you want to take a trade there. Hits here, you see it coming down. In your mind, you're like, all right, it's probably coming to another zone. Look to your left. There's a zone here. It literally came into that zone and took off. So for that day, you could have collected a potential of 102 pips in 3 hours. And then on the other end, collected a potential of 184 pips in another 3 hours. So you could do the math on that. All right, let's do this again. Market, new day. You're watching it, you're watching it, you're watching it, you're watching it. All of a sudden you see it coming down. You look to the left, you see if there's a zone. You see a zone to the left, right? So you see it hit that zone, try to break it, but didn't. Let's see what it did there. So all these different ways of seeing it. It's not always going to be perfect. But if you use your confirmations and your confluence and zones to see what happened, then you can take these trades. It's simple. Market came into that zone. It tested once, came up, tested twice. Boom, you get taken the trade. Do one order 30 pips, you're always guaranteed, 30 pips, make $300 off a standard lot. Change the other order, even though it's up 30 pips, the stop loss to 2 to 3 pips above the entry. So you always have a stop profit. And you have the potential of 166 pips. I hope this is making sense to you guys. You see how like if you look at this chart, how like there's only one box, a line, and the right time when to trade. Is that pretty simple? I'll break down the ADX. Also, zones drawn in daily. Like I don't use 15 minute at all. Like, that's just, I only mark up my charts on the 1 hour. and I'll mark up zones in the 4-hour and the daily and the weekly to see if it's a strong zone. What I'm saying about the second order is you could leave, if you want to see if you're a long-term trader and you want to see if it goes up 100, 200 pips, pretty much you're doing one order and the second order. The first order, you are always going to take 30 pips. The second order, if it's up 30 pips, it doesn't matter. You change the stop loss to a 2-pip stop profit. What that means is you could go to sleep, and if it reversed on you, you still made 2 pips. But if you go to sleep and it did go in the direction that you want it to go, not only did you collect 30 pips on the first order, you might have collected 180 pips now. So imagine that, 300 pips off one order on a standard lot, and then you go to sleep and you wake up and you're $1,800 in profit. But if it didn't, you still made 2 pips because you put a 2-pip stop profit. All right. Now, for all the people that's asking about, is it the same thing with a daily, with a 4-hour? Yes, it's the same thing. I never do zones on 30-minute. I never do zones on 15-minute. I never do zones on 5-minute at all. The same concept it does on the daily and the weekly is the same thing. But imagine this. This is the weekly, right? So imagine if you drew a zone. The way I draw the zones on the weekly, I look for areas where price like really, really reversed. And if you can see right here, and this I do estimations on this one. Wicks, wicks, wick, wicks, reverse, reverse, wick, reverse, reverse, wick, wick, reverse, right? So this zone right here was already strong. Now, if this started coming up here on the weekly, and then you go on to the daily, I think I went way back. All right. And then you go on the daily and you see that this area, there's wick, wick, reverse, reverse, like price was struggling in the zone. Then all of a sudden, you know, you're trading off the 1 hour, you're doing all these zones, but then you always look at the higher time frames just to see. If you're over here and you see it coming up, you're like, oh man, yo, this zone I remember is strong. I don't know if it's going to show up because I think I went way back. Yeah, I think I went way back. That's all good. The concept that I'm trying to tell you guys is the fact that you could do the same thing on the higher time frames just to be ready. Now, say for instance, you're only in this area, then you don't have to worry about the zone. But what happens if you go look at the daily chart and now you're over here in this area? You see it coming up. That means you can still use the same concept on the hour to draw these zones for a reversal. But now you know that you could be looking for a sell for a very, very, very strong selling opportunity. Because even where the first drop that it did was 543 pips. If you held on to it, it would have been, 1,300 pips with a potential of 18,000 pips. Same concept. If you're on the daily, draw out these zones, see what areas it respects. But for now, practice just using the 1 hour. Just practice doing that. Look at this. Market opens. It's dropping. Remember, you're not trading at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. You're not trading at freaking midnight. You make a discipline, you make a rule, and make sure that you trade in between 10 and 19 GMT, right? So that's like what, 2 in the morning to freaking 11 Central. But the thing is, sometimes a trade might happen at 1. That's why I'm always at the charts at midnight, just to see. But you see, market is dropping. Oh my gosh, you know what? Let me see if there's a zone in that area that is going to. There is. Market gets there. Happens around 2 o'clock in the morning. No, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? You're just waiting. You're just being patient. If you see market is dropping, you look to the left to see if there's a zone. You draw a zone, and then you wait for it to go into that zone, and then you see what it does in that zone, and then you take the trade. As you can see, it literally came, touched the zone, came up, came all the way down, did another test, and then it took off. That's why I said this looks like a crazy W. It's not always going to be perfect. But with your confirmations, making sure it is still a second leg W, making sure that it's in the zone, making sure that it's the right times to win a trade. This is the reason why I don't really do freaking support or resistance, because there's multiple areas. Like, look, you say respects and then breaks and it touches and it comes back up and it touches. Like, I don't even draw that. I just look at it. Now, the way you use ADX is simple. I don't know why it keeps taking out when I do it. You're just looking at the momentum and what's going on. So you're seeing what's happening in this area, in the zone. You see that the D negative, which is the red, and the D positive, they're switching. One's coming down, which means the bearish is the bears, or if you want to use it, the bears are losing and the bulls are winning. You can see right here, it intersects, comes above the 25. And when it comes above the 25, you just see it take off. You could use this as a confirmation. Pretty much. Yeah, a lot of people's charts. Can you give us your thought on this trade with GU? No, you could draw out the supply and demand zones and then see what it does in that area. Because in all honesty, I pretty much gave you guys the fundamentals and technicals to draw it yourself. I want you guys to go through the feeling of you guys drawing it. And then when it goes in that zone, you guys will get happy because you know that you drew the zone right. And then when you see what happens in that zone and you take the trade in that zone and then it goes up and you collect your 30 pips, then you have the confidence yourself to trade on your own. I'm never going to give anyone trades on this thing. I'm going to give you the knowledge and tell you exactly what to do. Because look how simple that is. Look how simple that is. Did I draw anything else in the chart? You see this everywhere? Watch. I'll do what a lot of people do. Let's do this. I'm just saying this is the way that I trade. You guys wanted to know the way I trade. I'm gonna tell you guys the way I trade because I like being simple with it, you know? Got all these support resistance lines everywhere. Oh, wait, make sure you get those wicks, right? And let's see, we could do this, we could do that. We can do trend lines. We can see how these trend lines work. All right, well, this comes up. You see this. This is hitting the trend line, right? What happened here, though? It just broke through. You know what I'm saying? You could draw one here. You could come one coming across, and you could see, yeah, respects, cool. There's multiple trend lines that you could draw. Come in, like, yo, that's too much. Like, let's just delete everything. Let's just do this, guys. Market opens, it drops. You look to the left, see if there's a zone that's going to happen. Like I said, right there, boom. You see that, and then you take the trade. And if you want confirmation, to really see confirmation, just use a fib and see what's going on. Go from the lowest to the highest. Oh, it's 61.8. It doesn't break the 61.8. Another confirmation. That's it. You go on a random chart. USD JPY. Right? Market opens, is staying in this area. Let's see this. That's still 64 pips. It's just bouncing off in this area, right? This whole area is a zone. You could have taken a trade here at 1 or 2 o'clock. Let's see what it did right there. Oh, it made a M. 1 or 2 o'clock, hit an M, made an M. You're like, all right, well, this is the right time of when to trade. I promised myself that I was going to trade during this time. Well, the time of when to trade happened. There's a double retest and it dropped. It dropped for about, let's say, 75 pips. You could have got your 30 pips and you could have got your 75 pips, correct? But guess what? You see it come all the way down, right? Then you look to the left. What's going on over here? Is there a zone? I think there's a zone there. Market reversed if you want to see it. Right here, right? So let's draw it out. Market came in, even touch that zone. You could have taken that trade back on the opposite end. You could have made another 30 pips. On top of that, you could have made 86 pips potential, or you could just wrote it out the whole way, depending on you. If you're like, oh, well, it just keeps going up. There you go. That's how simple. Again, you see this right here. Market comes down. Wait, you're not supposed to trade during that time, right? But it starts coming up. And then 1 or 2 o'clock happens and you see it come back down. Look, it happens in everything. If a market came down and came up, market reversed in that section, right? Then it came back up, and around 2 o'clock, it came in here. When the market came in there, it did a little first test and a second test, and it made a W right there. And it touched inside the zone and got out. Then it touched inside the zone and then got out. You collected your 30 pips and your 66 pips potential profit. You see how easy this is? And then once you're done with that, for that day, you delete it. Go to the gym, go read some books, go hang out with people, spend time, enjoy life, embrace it. That's it. All of a sudden, again, market opens and it comes up. You see it keep going up and up and up and up, right? You look to the left. Is there a zone in the area? If market keeps going up, is there a zone to the left? Yes, there's a zone. Easy. Look. The zone right there. It came up, touched the top of that zone. Let's see what it did. I know it's repetitive, but obviously if I show you guys multiple confirmations, that'd just be easier for you guys to understand. That's what it took for me. I had to keep backtesting. It came up into that zone. Tested once, came up, tested twice. There's an M or your double top, whatever you want to call it. Take the sell. You got your 30 pips and then your 51 pip potential. That's it. Now delete it. Close it. Close your laptop. You're done for the night. Go to sleep while everybody else is staring at charts all freaking night. You're done. Right? You could go back and look, and you could backtest this whole thing and do the same concepts. I'm only going to show you, like, go back into the 15-minute. I'm just going to draw zones. All right, market opens. It's dropping, right? I look to my left. Market opens. You see it? Starts dropping still. Look to my left. Zone. Hit, test, buy. Done. That's it. Took your 30 pips. You also had your 207 pip potential, right? Same thing. Even if you wanted to catch this one real quick, watch. Market open, came up. You look to your left. Is there zones in those areas? Yes, there's a zone. Market reverse right here. The zone. It hit top. You gotta take your trade. Go on the 15-minute, look for those retests with those M's or W's, double tops, double bottoms. Oh, why did I do that? Sorry. Made an M, hit, comes down, hit. You could have taken that trade, no matter what. You still got 33 pips. Oh, actually more than that. But you would change your stop loss to 2 pip stop profit. Guess what? In reverse, you still made 2 pips. You did not lose the trade. You're golden. Doesn't matter. Oh, also too, if you take a trade and you see it automatically go like this, make 20 pips and profit, change both the stop losses to break even, just to be safe, just in case someone falls asleep or doesn't do that, or just forgets. You know what I'm saying? Market comes down, you look to the left. Is there a zone in that area? Like, is there a zone in this area? Yes, there is. So after you took that trade there, it's coming down to be prepared. You look to the left, you see already there's a zone right there. You know why? Wick of previous candle, body of the breakout. It hits in this zone. Same concept. Boom, delete this. Same concept, comes down, hits. You could take in the trade. You could have collected your 30 pips here, and then you could have collected another 30 pips with the potential of the other trade going 107 pips. Does it make sense? I'm gonna read you guys this stuff real quick. Hold on. No, I said 15-minute chart confirmations. Don't look at the 5-minute. True. What about zones up top for reverse areas on the sell side? You know what I'm talking about. I like literally like when the market opens or starts a new day, you adapt to what's going on. If it's going up, look to the left, draw a zone, see what it does in that zone, and then take the trade. If you're doing this type of trading style, in all honesty, and you're like sleep, taking a nap, and waiting, you could just do instant execution on that because you're gonna be up, and it takes you like maybe anywhere from 2 hours. Sometimes it takes. Did the internet just turn on? It did? It did? Yo, can you guys hear me? All right, awesome. Just making sure that everybody can hear me. But yeah, that's pretty much my breakdown for how I trade. Is there any questions at all? All right. If you guys have any questions or whatever, just literally just look at it. One of the things that like I learned from that I saw Q put in a status, it says Forex is a transfer of money from the impatient to the patient. All right. So with that being said, just be patient, draw those zones and respond. You see how the last like literally how my charts is just very how far do you go backwards and to the left? You just look to the left to see if there's a zone. Yeah, you could use 4 hour, you could use daily, you could use weekly to draw out these zones. But literally right now, I'm teaching you guys how to cash anywhere from 30 to even a potential of 200 pips a day just by doing that. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off on here. I hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions, in all honesty, just go back through the video. I'm gonna be doing pretty much the same type of style of just showing you guys this every single day. Like literally every single day. Like you guys will have this every single day. For me, I could do a class on support and resistance. You know, yes, it's recorded. You could do a class on, price action. You could do a class on reversal candle, patterns and all that type of stuff. But like in all honesty, why? You guys want straight to the point. You guys want to make money. You guys want to create, profits. You guys want to be able to live a free life. You guys want to be able to do all this type of stuff. So I'm just gonna cut straight to the point. The same way that I wish that, I was able to, cut straight to the point, or someone cut straight to the point for me and go straight to where I can make the money. I mean, so I want the charts to be simple. I want you guys to be able to have less clutter because cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. So you guys will literally, clutter your mind and it'll be kind of stressful, right? Simple. Don't even look at the charts until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Central. You look at it, you see where it's going. Then you look at midnight or 1 o'clock, you see where it's going. You draw the zone, you see what happens in that zone. You get your freaking 30 pips. You put the order to a 2-3 pip stop profit, and then you go to sleep. And you repeat. And you make money. And you flip it. And that's it. So I'll be doing this every day because literally the people that you get involved into this, the people that you bring onto this, like literally let everybody know how far this freaking Twitch is, how DFW Trade House on what they did to actually create something like this for you guys. Spread this like wildfire because this is something that people need. I'm tired of watching people like lose money in the markets. I'm tired of watching people, have the hope of coming into these markets and being able to live a free lifestyle, but they just don't know what to do. There's so much regurgitated information. There's so much people being overwhelmed. There's so many people giving up when there's people that's making over millions of dollars a trade in this. The same concept it takes to make, $300 off a standard lot off 30 pips. What happens when you start doing freaking $10 lots? You're making $3,000 for every 30 pips. But what happens if it does go 200 pips? You're making like 20 grand or 10 grand. It's the same concept. It just takes a while. It's a whole marathon. So if I could do this same exact webinar on a daily basis, I gave you guys the fundamentals. I gave you guys the times. I gave you guys what to do. And all I had to do is back test it. Now try it out. Try it out right now. It's a perfect timing to try this out right now. And then see what happens around 2-3 o'clock in the morning to see if it respects the zone and see what's up. And that's it. There's other ways to trade. Yeah, there's really like more extensive ways. There's I don't know, there might be a better way, but I'm just letting you guys know the easiest way that worked for me. Actually me and my buddy Jacob, this is the way we trade, and that's how we started making. When I started making 11K in 2 days, $5,500 days, $5,000 days, freaking $1,000 days, it was literally from this. We had these confirmations We have these disciplines. The only way that you lose trading like this is if you're super over leveraging your account. If you're not waiting for a second retest, like a confirmation, like a second leg M or W. If you're not changing your like when your trade automatically goes 10 to 20 pips in profit, change your stop loss to break even. You hit 30 pips, put the other order to a 2-3 pip stop profit. That way you never lose. It hits the zone, it starts coming down 15 to 20 pips, you change the stop loss to break even, and all of a sudden it just takes off in the other direction. Guess what? You're ready for that. You broke even. You start laughing like, all right, well, I only made like 2-3 pips, but you didn't lose money. You didn't take money out of your account at all. Those are the little tiny things, the little disciplines, stop losses to stop evens to stop profits. Waiting for the times of when to trade, being patient for it to hit a zone, being patient for the second leg of the M or W, right? Or the double top or double bottom, whatever you want to call it. It's being patient. Some people will take a trade off the first test or the first leg, and all of a sudden you see it come down even farther for the second. That's where you mess up. Make the discipline second leg M or second leg W. No ifs, ands, or buts. If it comes down and reverses once and it comes up and you're waiting for a second leg and it never happens, guess what? It didn't happen. So don't chase it. Because all of a sudden, if you chase it, you're like, oh, well, I think it's taking off now. All of a sudden, it does a really big retest and it has a freaking 20 pip drawdown. How many times have you guys taken a trade off a zone where where it reversed, right? And you thought that it was going to be just taking off, but all of a sudden you see it coming back down again, and all of a sudden you're super negative because of the drawdown. It's because you didn't wait for the second leg M. You didn't wait for the second leg W. So confirm it. Times and when to trade, second leg M or W, the zone, and use the ADX. So make sure you use these confirmations. Watch this video over again. If you don't want to watch it over again, then come back on tomorrow and watch the same one again, and I'll break it down again. So you guys can see. I'll break down what happened tonight on the charts so you can see how it happened, tomorrow. It's simple. If you guys like the way this is, then don't be one of those people that are selfish. Spread this around to people that need it. If you know there's people that are trading that need help, make sure you add them. Make sure they come on to this Twitch on a nightly basis. Because whoever's going to be on here will be making minimum 30 pips a day, potential of 100 to 200 pips a night. Second leg. M. See it? Second leg W. Second leg M. Second leg W. Second leg M. Second leg W. Second leg M. This is literally the second leg of a W. All right, bet. Hope that helped. I'm going to be in here every day. Every single day from Sunday to Thursday. All right? Any other questions? All right, well, I appreciate you guys. How do I do this? Hold on, guys. Bring this stuff out. That's where I enter. That was easy right here. That's funny. There you go. Sorry, enter, 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 enter. Hope that helps. No, when I talk about opening of the day. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off on this. I hope you guys appreciate this a lot. Spread this like wildfire, seriously. So make sure you rewatch the video and see you guys tomorrow.